Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you my very first budget overview for the month of February. February is actually the first month that I have ever budgeted to this extent. I've kind of played around with the idea of budgeting, but it's never really been successful for me. However, this setup that I've got going on, which is might seem familiar because I kind of sort of stole the setup from Budget Girl. Um, this worked so much better for me and has kept me organized the whole month. Now, my sort of budgeting philosophy is loosely based off of zero based budgeting, as well as working with my income from the previous month. So the way that I set it up is at the beginning of February, I totaled the amount of income that I received in January and I budgeted for the month of February. And having that already in my account, I knew exactly what I had to spend and I already had the money to spend it. So I didn't have to worry about not receiving as much as I thought I would for a particular month or waiting to pay bills until I get a second paycheck. I already have all the money that I need for that month. And so while I was progressing through February, I was getting those two additional checks. I get paid twice a month. And those were just accumulating in the bank, and those will be budgeted for March, if that makes any sense. Um, but down here, you'll see that in January, I received two paychecks that totaled $2,364. So then I used those two paychecks to budget for the entire month of February. And these are my basic expenses that I would typically expect in a month. And as you can see, it doesn't exactly equal zero because I am a proponent of leaving a little cushion room in there, just in case, because you never know what's going to happen. But for the month of February, my rent was $767. It has been that for a while. However, in the next month, it will be changing for the better. It's going down a lot. My minimum for my student loans are $621.72. I budget $400 for food because I wasn't really sure how much I spent. That used to be a category that I would just spend whatever on. I would eat out a lot, and I didn't really know how much I would need to budget for that. So I gave myself around $100 a week just to see how much I would actually need. I pay $121 for a monthly Metro Pass for the subway. I usually spend around $20 for laundry every month. Utilities, I gave myself a cap of $90, which I split with two other roommates. Netflix, I have $10.99 for that. I do have $100 per month going into a Roth IRA. However, I'm going to be changing that next month um, to have that go towards moving expenses for the future as a like sort of sinking fund. Then I have just a sinking fund category, which has multiple sinking funds within that. Is $58.33. Craft supplies $20, and I give myself a miscellaneous budget of $50. So over here in my actual spending for the month of February, I feel like I did pretty great, especially for my first budget. I was under a lot in most of the categories. The only one that I went over was in miscellaneous, and that was because I had technically spent um, more than $50 before I even set up my budget for February. So that was just sort of an oversight on my part, and I wasn't really paying attention to that. However, I did not need $400 for food. As you can see, I had $107 left over for food. For laundry, I found extra money extra cash that I had lying around, and I ended up only needing 5 out of my $20 budgeted for my laundry. Utilities, I did not have to pay $90. I had 15 left over, and I didn't buy any craft supplies this month. So in total, I had $134.85 left over. And then in addition to the little bit of cushion room that I left between my allotted spending and my actual income, I had $240 left at the end of the month. So what I do with this money is I push it to my next month's income. So I'll go ahead and give you a little preview of that. Here's my March budget. So if you'll look down here in my income box for March, I have my 2 paychecks that I received in February. I have some money that I earned from babysitting in February, and here's my surplus from the previous month. And it's a different number, 225 compared to 240, because I decided for my laundry budget, I had already taken the $20 out of my account in cash, and I had the $15 left over. So I just moved that to my laundry budget for the next month, and I only allotted myself $5 if I needed it. That way it evens out. So I subtracted that from the income that I would be moving to this month right here. I hope that makes sense. All right, so going back to my February budget, I also have trackers here of my debt payments. In February, I made the standard debt payment here, and I did not make any additional payments because I wasn't prepared to do that. So out of the $621.72, $292.97 of that went to the principal, and my current balance is $123 or $123,112.15. And over here, I just have some other tracking things, tracking my food allowance for the week. I was trying to be very specific with what I was giving myself based on how many days were in that week. And then I kept track of how much I spent over here. And here I was just keeping track of how much I had paid for utilities and then being reimbursed by my roommates, how much we would each be paying per person versus how much I paid. And here I was just keeping track of my sinking funds, which is a hot mess right now, so I'm not going to really go into that. But I will say that I have decided to use my amount left over each month to push towards my loans in the next month. So in March, I'm going to use the income that I made from babysitting and the amount I have left over from this month to add in addition to the $621 that I normally pay for my loans. So that is going to give me a really nice payment for my student loans, a great success for me in my first month of budgeting. But I'm going to go more into detail on my loan situation in another video because that is a whole other ball field and it's going to require its own video just dedicated to that. So stay tuned for